The one word that unlocks it all, knowledge. Understanding the gateway to life's greatest mysteries. G'day everyone. Welcome to a conversation that's been bouncing around in human hearts for thousands of years. Today, I'm keen to share something with you. The one word that opens all the mysterious doors. Knowledge. Or as they say in the ancient texts, know is the gate. Know is the key. Sounds a bit mystical? Nah, not really. Life's just having a chat with us, but most of us are too busy to actually listen, you know? Part 1. The mystery of doors and keys. Right, picture this. Life's like a grand mansion, yeah? And knowledge, proper knowing, that's your master key that opens every important door. If you've got that knowledge, you walk in and boom, you see straight. You understand your own true clarity and wisdom, what's naturally yours. It's all right there, that genuine brilliance that you've had all along. But if you reckon you don't need to know better, you're basically stumbling around in the dark, aren't you? Just bumping into walls, smashing your shins. And here's the really rough bit, you keep opening the wrong doors. You open what we might call the 1,000-year-old pitch-black dungeon, and what greets you? A stench, mate. That's the stink of your own suffering, greed, anger, delusion, arrogance, doubt. That's what's behind that door. See, the thing is, the question isn't how many doors there are. The real question is, what kind of knowledge are you using to decide which door to open? It's like going to the cafe, right? Same menu as everyone else. But one bloke orders the nourishing meal, feels brilliant all day, sharp as a tack. Another bloke grabs all the deep-fried rubbish, and 2 weeks later, he's wondering why he's flat on the couch feeling crook. What's the difference? It's knowledge, knowing what serves you and what doesn't. Part 2. The headwind we manufacture ourselves. Now, I'm going to ask you something a bit cheeky. How much of your struggle is actually bad luck? And how much of it have you made yourself? Fair dinkum, that question stings a bit, doesn't it? Here's the thing though. There's a mob of people we could call the unfortunate ones, and I'm being gentle with that phrase. These are people who keep doing the same thing over and over, following impulse, chasing feelings, being dead. Sure, they're right. Every mistake, it comes from that moment of impulse. They're flying along, blaming the whole world. The universe hates me. Everyone's against me. And then, one day, they reckon it out. Mate, they created the whole headwind themselves. The problem? It's what happens when you don't have proper knowledge guiding your actions, your words, your thoughts. One dodgy sentence could sink a whole nation. One dodgy decision could wreck a relationship. One dodgy eating habit could wreck a human body. Use the wrong knowledge, and you're basically just shooting yourself in the foot. But flip it around, use proper knowledge, and a country can flourish, a family can thrive, a person can actually live well and stay healthy. So here's the first big win, mate. Your pain isn't something happening to you from outside. A lot of it you've created. And if you created it, you can change it. That's where hope lives. Part 3. The trap of thinking you're better than you are. Here's something you notice in stories, right? The characters who are most puffed up about themselves, most convinced they're the smartest person in the room, they're the ones who end up absolutely flattened, hard. Think of the characters in Pride and Prejudice, or those big, important folks in any story. They were on top of the world, dead sure of themselves. And what happened? Everything fell apart. Because the higher you reckon yourself, the harder you fall. But you know what's interesting? The folks who knew their place, who reckoned themselves accurate, who listened to the advice of someone wiser, they came out all right. They didn't crash and burn. In fact, in that classic story, there's a character, the demon god of the Southern Sea, also known as the crocodile sage, who, even though he wasn't thrilled about his master's decisions, because he knew his place and understood what that meant, he stuck with it. And you know what? He got through just fine. Here's the gold, mate. Properly knowing where you stand, that's actually the master key to opening the right doors. And that doesn't mean knocking yourself down or feeling worthless. It means being real with yourself. It means thinking, all right, I'm here. I'm doing my best. There's heaps I don't know yet, and that's okay. I'm still learning. When you know your place, you're not fighting the universe anymore. You're working with it. Part 4, the training ground. How to actually open those doors. All right, so now for the real question. What do I actually do about this? How do I get the light on? Listen, it won't happen overnight, but it's not impossible either. And that's the good news. First up, we need to turn the lights on in how we see the world. Your average person, The way they see things is like that dungeon, pitch dark, bumping about, running into painful stuff. But someone who's genuinely awake, someone who's truly paying attention, the way they see things is crystal clear. Everything that happens becomes a lesson. Everything teaches them something. Opening those right doors is exactly that. Flipping the switch, opening your eyes, and getting rid of all the rubbish cluttering up your mind. Second, get a grip on those runaway thoughts and impulses. We've got this habit, yeah? Some random thought pops up and we're off like a shot, following it down the rabbit hole. To change that, dead simple. When a stray thought pops up, stop it. Don't go chasing it. It's like when you're trying to concentrate. Any thought that distracts you doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If it's pulling you away from what you're doing, it's in the way. You don't need to judge it or analyze it. Just notice it's pulling you off track and let it go. The trick is, any random thought that pops up, catch it immediately. Don't judge it. Don't wrestle with it. Just stop. That's it. Stay focused on what you're doing right now. But here's the thing. This takes practice, mate. However long you've been letting your mind wander around like a lost shearer, that's roughly how long it's going to take to retrain it. Fair's fair. You can't expect to fix years of bad habits in a fortnight. Third, tap into your inner wisdom and clarity. You can meditate regularly, spend time in quiet reflection, get in touch with genuine clarity. If you sincerely commit to this, really properly commit, even just 3 years of solid effort can get you to a place where you're not getting dragged around by every impulse anymore. That's when you actually start living your life, mate. You're the one steering, not your emotions. And finally, the most important bit, use real life as your mirror. How many people blame everyone else for their troubles? It's all their fault. But mate, what you see in the mirror is what you put in front of it. Your experience is like a reflection. If you're harsh, you see harshness back. If you're kind, you see kindness back. And all the good stuff and all the rough stuff in your life, a fair bit of that, you've actually shaped yourself. Part 5. Something you can actually start doing right now. Enough theory. Let me give you something you can do today, right now, this very moment. Let's use food as an example. Everyone loves eating what tastes good to them, and that craving for junk, that's another door to pain that we keep opening. Step 1. Label it. Build your knowledge. Grab your favorite piece of junk food. Maybe it's chips, maybe it's sugary drinks, maybe it's a bucket of hot chips loaded with salt. Then, while you're eating it, actually think about what it's doing to you. Picture it clearly, how it's messing with your skin, your energy, your blood, your thinking, creating inflammation, making you sluggish and foggy. Keep labeling it. Do this over and over until one day you genuinely don't want to eat it anymore. The craving just dies. And once that craving's gone, you're free. You won't touch it again. Step 2. Feed yourself properly. Once you've broken that cycle, move to the next level. Choose foods that actually serve your body. Then treat yourself like the precision instrument you are. Figure out exactly what your body needs, how much protein, how many good carbs, what minerals are missing, and feed yourself that. Precisely. Feed yourself properly. We're living in an age of too much food, too much richness, too many lifestyle diseases. What we need is to be smart about it, and smart means precise. Right, so this isn't small stuff. This is you actually opening those doors through real action. The wrap-up, the moment that changes everything. Friends, what have we talked about today? We've said knowledge is the door, knowledge is the key. The right knowledge opens the good doors. The wrong knowledge opens the dark ones. A lot of your struggle, you've actually created it. But that's the great news. If you created it, you can change it. That's where hope comes from, plain and simple. We've also said, know yourself truly, get a grip on those runaway thoughts. Use real life as a mirror to see what you're actually doing. And train. Take yourself through concrete action. That's how you actually open those doors. The road isn't easy, but it leads somewhere worth going. It's like turning on a light in a room you've been stumbling around in for years. You finally see clearly. You're not opening the doors to darkness anymore. You're walking toward the light. And it all starts right now with one choice. With you looking at what you're eating, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and deciding right here that you're going to be different. So here's my wish for you, mate. Rely on science. Leave suffering behind. Use wisdom to rebuild a life of genuine well-being. Do it all for the sake of kindness, not for profit. May each of you find your own gate to clarity. Cheers. VitaChoice Limited Production. Speaker, Benny. Created by Notebook LM, Claude and Dawn. Our philosophy. Charity, not profit. Science over suffering. Wisdom for well-being.